You know when you see that gleaming luxury tower on the skyline? Well, it's not just a home for the wealthy. It's actually a machine for creating the wealthy. Today, we're going to unpack the exact blueprint that turns these incredible buildings into one of the most reliable wealth building tools out there. So, how does this actually happen? How does a collection of fancy apartments really turn an investor into a millionaire? Believe me, it's not magic. It's a meticulously designed financial blueprint. Let's break down exactly how it works, step by step. Okay, so the first thing you have to wrap your head around is that these buildings are not just places to live. They are full-blown financial engines. Every single part of them, from the location they're built on to the concierge in the lobby, is engineered to do one thing: generate income, grow in value, and ultimately build some serious wealth. That's the core idea we're about to get into. Now, every great blueprint has to start with a solid foundation, right? In this case, that foundation is the powerful and, most importantly, consistent demand for luxury rental living. Here's why savvy investors absolutely love these buildings, way more than single-family homes. It's all about managing risk. Think about it. In a high-rise, you might have hundreds of apartments, hundreds of income streams. If one person moves out, it's a tiny little blip. But if you own a single rental house and your tenant leaves, boom, your income instantly drops to zero. This incredible stability is what attracts those high-income, reliable tenants. And maybe even more importantly, it makes banks really eager to finance the deal. All right, so we've got our foundation. But now we need the accelerator, the ingredient that just supercharges this whole process. And that, my friends, is leverage. So what on earth is leverage? Well, put simply, it's using the bank's money to control an asset that's way bigger than what you could afford on your own. This is the absolute key that unlocks these multi-million-dollar properties for investors who don't actually have millions sitting in the bank. And the process itself? It's surprisingly straightforward. You come up with a down payment, the bank finances the rest, and just like that, you're in control of the entire multi-million-dollar asset. But here's the really brilliant part. The rent that all your tenants pay covers the bank loan, it covers all the building's costs, and it even puts a profit right into your pocket. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. You get to control $1 million income-producing asset for just a fraction of its total cost. This is exactly how wealth creation gets put on the fast track. You're not just earning a return on your own money anymore, you're earning a return on the bank's money too. Okay, so you've used leverage to get the building. Now it's time to turn on the engine, and that engine runs on two types of fuel: cash flow and the incredible magic of compounding. Let's just look at some really simple math here. Let's say the building brings in $50,000 a month in rent. After you pay the mortgage and all the operating costs, you're left with $10,000 in profit. That positive difference, that 10 grand, that's your cash flow. It's the literal heartbeat of the whole investment. Now, this is where things get really, really powerful. Smart investors don't just go out and spend that cash flow. No way. They reinvest it. That profit, plus the fact that the property's value is growing, becomes the down payment for a second building. Suddenly, you have two buildings generating cash flow to help you buy a third. That's compounding in action, and it's how one investment literally snowballs into a massive portfolio. So we've got the foundation, the accelerator, and the engine. But the pros? They have a few more tools in their belt that act as multipliers, which dramatically increase their returns. The U.S. tax system basically just rolls out the red carpet for real estate investors. The biggest advantage is something called depreciation. Think of it like a phantom expense. The government actually lets you claim that the building is losing value on paper, because of wear and tear, even while its actual market value is going up. This phantom loss shrinks your taxable income, so you could be pocketing thousands in real cash while legally telling the IRS you made less. It's a massive, massive advantage. And you might be thinking, I don't have time to be a landlord. Well, the good news is you don't have to. A lot of people invest passively. They just provide the capital to an experienced team that handles all the development and the management. It's a way to tap into this wealth building machine without any of the day-to-day headaches. Okay, so let's pull all of these pieces together and look at what this journey actually looks like. This isn't some get-rich-quick scheme. It is a long-term strategy, and it definitely requires vision and a whole lot of discipline. This timeline here really shows how it all unfolds. It starts with one property. Then, after maybe 5 years, you use the equity and the cash flow you've built up to get a second one. By year 10, that compounding engine is really starting to hum, And after 2 decades of just being patient and disciplined, that one initial investment has completely transformed into a multi-million-dollar net worth. That is the true power of this blueprint. And that right there is the ultimate goal. The source material puts it perfectly. This blueprint isn't just about providing luxury living for tenants. For the investor, it's about building something so much bigger, real financial freedom, and a lasting legacy. So we've walked through the entire blueprint. We get the mechanics of this powerful financial engine, which really just leaves one final question for you to think about. What could this blueprint build for you? Thanks for joining this explainer.